Hello everyone, and I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals. And for today's episode, we will be featuring my upgrade on the LEGO compatible custom Jurassic Part 3 Ceratosaurus. But first of all, I'd like to thank youtube.com audio library for this awesome background music. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on my social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube of course. I do have a new account on Laika, so please follow me there as well as extinctbricks_bricks. Thanks everyone! This is only currently available in the Philippines, but please support my Laika account by sending me Laika gems. Thanks everyone! The Guesses PC contest winners will be announced at the end of the video, but first, here is how you can join. Click on the Extinct Bricks icon and then click on the community link to see all my posts. Have fun in guessing the next PC for Extinct Bricks! Gets me really pumped up for Camp Cretaceous Season 2. Well anyways, here is the making of the Ceratosaurus upgrade. And since this is an upgrade video, I will be showing you first how my old Ceratosaurus looks like, and here it is. So it has this head that I'm not really quite happy with in terms of the sculpt. It really cannot stand on its own, so I really have to make changes on the legs as well. The arms would really also need some changing because this is actually the arms that I use for my LEGO Stygimoloch, and the body of the Ceratosaurus will need to be bulked up a bit and the tail adjusted accordingly. The teeth of the Ceratosaurus will also need to be changed as well. This is mainly inspired by the Jurassic Part 3 Ceratosaurus. However, it is also inspired by the Ceratosaurus that will appear in the latest installment of Camp Cretaceous Season 2. For this upgrade, I usually start with sketching on the changes that will need to be done on the figure. So I traced the outline of the figure itself to make some adjustments. So I leveled up the tail a bit and also adjusted the angle of the legs so that it will stand very well on its own 2 feet. For this project update, I actually am using the Ceratosaurus image from Jurassic Park 3, the movie, and this actually allowed me to estimate the bulkiness of the body as well as the changes that I will need to do or implement on the head sculpt as well. I also make several notes on the particular changes that I want to implement on this one so that I won't get lost when I already start on with the figure. As with my usual work pattern, I started with kit bashing, so I had this horn installed and changed the arms for this one. I also adjusted the angle of the legs so that it can stand like so, and add a brick on the back so that it will have a bit of bulkiness as well. So here is this sculpting phase on my Ceratosaurus. You can see that the head sculpt is dramatically changed, and I'm starting to bulk up the neck region as well as the body or back of this particular figure. You can see here as well that the legs are already stabilized with clay as well. So once this is dried and I'm already happy with the sculpt, I went on with the wet sanding of this one and then proceeded with several other detailing changes such as changing the teeth of this Ceratosaurus. So looking at it from the front view, it seems that the Ceratosaurus is almost ready for painting. But I added a little bit extra on the spikes as well as osteoderms on the neck and the back. And since I'm thoroughly satisfied with the sculpt and also the details of it, I went on with the primering. Primer I used is Boston number 68 in gray. After the primer has dried, I started on with the basic colors. The first coat of color I used would be this cream on the entire body. So after this was actually fully dried, I started on painting the other colors for this Ceratosaurus. The secondary colors would be this lighter white with a little bit of yellow ochre on the bottom part or the underbelly of the creature. This actually extends to halfway of the tail. After this color, I went on with the lighter pink on the back of the creature. My previous Ceratosaurus had this in solid colors, however, I decided to have this one in speckles and also random shapes so that it will give somehow an irregular shading to this dinosaur. And I think it will work well. After this has been dried, I went on with the darker tones of red, of course, filling in the entire head, and then having this come towards the neck in the same speckled patterns as well. This solid red color is actually carried over to the lower jaw as well. I was actually worried at first because it's nothing like what I've done before since the first Ceratosaurus. I was actually satisfied with it, but I guess I needed a little bit of experimenting on this one just to see if this particular technique works for me, and in the end you will see that it actually works. I think the gradient that this actually created from the neck towards the first half of the body is really pretty, so I went on ahead and continued this until the end of the tail. With this, I used this lighter beige color to make such gradient continuing on from the first half or the second half towards the tail as well. I'd added a few more accents of orange to the neck part just to break out the red sections of these speckles. I used this same color in making the details on the legs or the feet of this Ceratosaurus. It looks really pretty and very lizard-like to me. I usually include this type of detailing in most of my theropod creatures, so since Ceratosaurus is a theropod, it's included there. Now, additional details such as discoloration on the head is actually added just to give it a little bit of depth and also character. This darker red color is actually used to highlight the additional details that I place here, such as the spikes as well as the osteoderms on the back and also the tail of this Ceratosaurus. I didn't want the details to just disappear just like that, so I wanted it to be highlighted somehow. At this point, I'm really happy how it's turning out to be, but it really has to have those black stripes on it, so I went on with it. However, this is not a very dark striping. I followed through with the yellowish black colors of the Ceratosaurus from the reference that I'm using. Additional details such as the lighter stripes on the head of the Ceratosaurus is added to make it more accurate to that of the reference that I'm using. And that's about it for the making of the Ceratosaurus. Now let's move on with Assembrix. You can do it, and let's vault in. And here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 parts to it. Of course, let's start with the head. Let's connect the head with the lower jaw. Just give it a little push and it should be fitted perfectly. Like so. Let's connect this to the body. Now let's connect the arms. Let's start with the left and then with the right. Let's now connect the tail. The tail has two pieces to it, the base and the tip. Lastly, let's connect the hind legs, connecting the left and then the right. And that should complete the figure, my Lego-compatible custom Jurassic Part 3 Ceratosaurus. Now it's time for us to have a closer look. And here you have it, the differences between my new Ceratosaurus and the old Ceratosaurus. And I'm quite satisfied with how it turned out to be at this point. Okay, so here we have Asher here helping me out to support and also present this new upgrade of mine. Alright, he'll be back later for some size comparisons, but now let's take a look closer of what the changes are for this particular custom of mine. So let's start with the head. So as you can see here, the upgrades done would be changing the horns on this particular creature. So you have here a longer horn than before. The teeth is actually remodeled as well. The painting of the head and also the general shape of the head is also changed. The body is actually bulked up as well, so as you can see here, and the arms is actually replaced as well with this new raptor hands. The patterning is more fierce at this moment, or compared with the previous done Ceratosaurus, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out to be. Okay, it also has this spikes on the back portion as well as some osteoderms on the neck area. If you have been following my videos for a while now, you would notice that all my theropods actually has this patterning on the feet, and yeah, I guess that improves it a bit. In terms of articulation, the tail is very movable. It has two pieces to it. The head can be twisted, look down a bit, and of course it can open and close its mouth as well, like so. The arms are also movable as well as those of the legs. So looking at it from the front view, you can see that the Ceratosaurus pretty much looks the same almost as that of the movie. And that's it for a closer look. Now let's proceed with size comparisons. And for the size comparisons, Usher here is back, and you can see that from the proportion and also the size of this one, it's pretty much the same as that of the illustration that I have here above it. Okay, so let's just focus the camera a bit and let's proceed with this size comparisons. And here we will be comparing it with some of the Jurassic creatures that I have so far. So first, here's the Ceratosaurus. And I think Ceratosaurus is one of the main courses, or at least main prey for Ceratosaurus. So I'm happy to have been playing with it. I think I broke the one of the spikes for Ceratosaurus, but that's okay. I can always replace that one. And of course, one of the biggest or bigger herbivores from the Jurassic here is the Stegosaurus. And moving on with the size comparisons, we have here the Dilophosaurus from my Jurassic Park theme as well. I mean, this is actually mainly based off from the Jurassic Park novel Dilophosaurus. That is why it's a bit bigger than what you are usually looking at for a Dilophosaurus, much like that of the movie. Okay, so after this, we have of course the prime predator of the Jurassic. This is the Allosaurus, and you can see here, although they are a bit of the same size in terms of height and I think the length as well, the bulkiness of the Allosaurus is much more bigger, or much bigger than that of the Ceratosaurus. Okay, it's also a bit taller, I think. What a battle! I didn't include the giants of Jurassic, such as the Apatosaurus and also some of my other long neck creatures, since they were featured in the Argentinosaurus video this year. Well, anyways, let's have a roll call. This is the Allosaurus from Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, the Jurassic Park novel Dilophosaurus, my Stegosaurus, of course the Jurassic Park 3 Ceratosaurus, and here you have my Ceratosaurus from Jurassic Park Operation Genesis. And now let's move on with the last look, since we're almost end of the video. The Ceratosaurus actually came from the Greek words keras, meaning horn, and saurus, lizard, earning its name, the horned lizard, Ceratosaurus. It lived in the late Jurassic period around 153 to 148 million years ago and is part of the Ceratosauridae family. It can grow up to a length of 26 feet and with a height of 10 feet. It also weighed 1,814 kilograms. Oh no, the Ceratosaurus is out of containment, but EB and Usher here is actually on their bike and ready to outrun him. And that's it for our video. I hope you like it. We can now move on with the Guess This PC Contest winners announcements, and we have, of course, 10 lucky picks, and here they are: Omay Liam, Jamal Nurdurani, Becky Patrick, ProRex Plays, Zaki PH, Eduardo Oliveira, Andromius, Ondom, Expo Juventus E Mucho, Robert Pipka. Congratulations everyone! Now for our top 10 winners:
Top 10.
Sean Sieber Carganilla,
Top 9.
Mikhail Kostanov,
Top 8.
Timo Mazo,
Top
Tibor
7.
Karachi,
Top 6.
Jurassic World Gang,
Top
Paolo
5.
Calanyo,
Top 4.
Yaroslav Novokatsky,
Top 3.
Diacro 34,
Top 2.
Mandiamar, and
Top
GCL.
1.
Congratulations everyone, and I'll see you on our next Guess This PC contest. Also, our babies Moira and Asher has their own vlog now, The Adventures of Moira and Asher. Please watch their videos and subscribe to their channel as well. Thanks for the support everyone! And as we always would say, let your inner dino brick roar!